From the heart of Yerevan, this is ＳիվիլՆեթ's Daily News Digest. I'm Maria Titizian, and here are the top stories for Wednesday, February 19. Today is the 10th anniversary of the brutal murder of Lieutenant Gurgen Margaryan in Budapest. Also, Raffi Hovhanissyan speaks to his supporters and the media about the tense conditions in the country. Plus, Ravished Armenia, the story of Arshaluys Mardiganian, a survivor of the Armenian Genocide, is translated into Turkish. And later, an Armenian connection to a high-profile criminal case in the Central Asian country of Uzbekistan. Today marks the 10-year anniversary of Lieutenant Gurgen Margaryan's murder in Budapest during NATO's Partnership for Peace English language program training in 2004. Along with Margaryan, there were several other participants from various countries, including Azerbaijani Lieutenant Ramil Safarov. On the night of February 19, 2004, while Gurgen Margaryan was sleeping soundly, Ramil Safarov entered his room and savagely hacked Margaryan to death with an axe. Safarov also attempted to kill another Armenian participant, Lieutenant Maguchyan, but failed. Hungarian Balázs Kuti, a NATO soldier and Margaryan's roommate, was a witness to the crime and had summoned the police. In the report following Safarov's arrest, the police had stated that the crime was committed with, quote, unusual cruelty. Margaryan's body was flown back to Armenia and buried at the military cemetery Yeraplur. Safarov was supposed to face a 30-year prison term in Hungary when suddenly and unexpectedly he was extradited back to Azerbaijan in August 2012. Upon arrival in Azerbaijan, Safarov was pardoned, hailed as a national hero, and under a decree made by Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev, was promoted to major in the Azerbaijani army. Both the Azerbaijani and Hungarian governments came under deep international scrutiny for the reckless extradition and subsequent pardon. On September 28, 2013, a monument honoring Gurgen Margaryan was unveiled in Yerevan. Raffi Hovanissyan, the leader of the opposition Heritage Party, spoke to his supporters and the media yesterday in Yerevan and promised to lead the country to a constitutional revolution. To remind our viewers, Hovhanissyan was President Serge Sarkisyan's main contender in last year's presidential elections and was able to secure almost 40% of the vote. Calling the results of the election fraudulent, Hovhanissyan rallied thousands of people in the capital and other cities around the country in what became known as the Parevolution. Unable to sustain and move the discontent of the masses forward, Hovhanissyan eventually receded from public discourse. During his speech yesterday, he said, quote, "The Armenian people has come close to the brink of civil war, and since it is not too late, a national solution must be found for this current crisis." He promised to lead a new movement to ensure deep and fundamental structural reforms in the country. Ashot Gulian, the Speaker of Parliament of the Republic of Nagorno-Karabakh, met with the members of the Armenian-British Parliamentary Friendship Group, chaired by UK Member of Parliament John Whittingdale in Yerevan. Gulian presented the position of the government of Artsakh regarding the conflict, including the recent ceasefire violations on the line of contact, as well as ongoing concerns with the war rhetoric coming from Azerbaijan. He said that these issues serve as barriers to peace and added that the full participation of Nagorno-Karabakh in the mediation process is necessary to achieve a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The UK parliamentarians also paid a visit to Dzizernagapert Genocide Museum complex, where they honored the memory of the innocent victims of the Armenian Genocide of 1915. They also met with the director of the museum, Haik Demoyan, and examined the British press archives in the collection. MP John Whittingdale said that this was his third visit to Dzizernagapert and noted, "It is important to realize and never forget what happened 100 years ago. Ahead of the Genocide Centennial, we are here to condemn it." Genocide Scholars issued an open letter to the European Court of Human Rights on February 14 regarding their decision on Dogu Perinçek versus Switzerland. In their letter, the scholars expressed their concern with the historical inaccuracies upon which the decision was based. They underscored that the court's reasoning is at odds with the facts about the historical record on the Armenian Genocide of 1915 and at odds with an ethical understanding of denialism. On December 17, 2013, the European Court ruled that Perinçek didn't commit an offense when he denied the reality of the Armenian Genocide while he was in Switzerland in 2007, and also that Switzerland had violated the European Convention on Human Rights by convicting him. The Swiss Criminal Code criminalizes denial of the genocide under Article 261 of its criminal code. You can read the full text of the letter by following the link on your screen. Edward Nalbandian, Armenia's foreign minister, visited Iraq this past week and met with Nouri al-Maliki, Iraq's prime minister. The visit was aimed at further deepening relations between the two countries. Foreign Minister Nalbandian stated that the Armenian government intends to open a consulate general of Armenia in the city of Erbil. There were also talks of easing visa requirements for Iraqi citizens in order to stimulate business relations. During their meeting, Prime Minister al-Maliki praised the Armenian community of Iraq by stating, "Armenians have worked and created here for centuries. Despite the hard conditions, the Iraqi Armenians continue to work for the sake of Iraq's prosperity." And in economic news, Gurgen Margaryan, Deputy Minister of Economy, announced during a press conference yesterday that streamlining Armenia's customs regulations and bringing them into accordance with the customs union will secure an additional $140 million in remittances from customs duties. According to the Deputy Minister, while remittances from customs duties will increase almost twofold, the implementation of those new rates may increase the rate of inflation by another 1.4%. He noted that the Armenian side is currently negotiating with the customs union to exempt almost 900 types of imported goods and products from higher duties. Armenak Chatinyan, ՍիվիլՆեթ's economic commentator, added that the inflation rate could be much higher than 1.4%, given that it is highly unlikely that all 900 import products being discussed will be exempted from the customs fares. Gurgen Margaryan did not rule out the possibility that by joining the customs union, the composition and origin of suppliers could change and that certain products would possibly be eliminated or disappear completely from the Armenian market. The book Ravished Armenia about Arshaluys Mardiganian, a genocide survivor, has been translated into Turkish and published by the Pencere Yayınları publishing house in Turkey. The full title of the book, Ravished Armenia, the story of Aurora Mardiganian, the Christian girl who survived the Great Massacres, was written in 1918 by Arshaluys Mardiganian about her experiences in the Armenian Genocide. The book was then made into a film the following year titled Auction of Souls. Mardiganian was born near Kharpert in present-day Turkey and was the daughter of a wealthy financier. At the age of 14, Arshaluys witnessed the murder of her entire family and was then taken into a harem and repeatedly tortured. She was rescued by doctor and missionary Frederick McCallum, who returned her to Erzurum, which had come under Russian control at that time. She later moved to Tbilisi, and through the efforts of General Antranik, she was sent to the United States to recover, but was then also used as a poster child for all the sufferings of the Armenians in the Ottoman Empire. Armenian connections reach the Central Asian country of Uzbekistan. According to reports in the Russian RIA Novosti website, prosecutors in Uzbekistan are probing several close associates of the president's daughter. Gulnara Garimova is under suspicion for involvement in financial crimes. The General Prosecutor's Office said in a statement that Rustam Madumarov, Gaine Avakyan, and Yekaterina Gluyeva are suspected of large-scale tax evasion and concealing foreign currency. Garimova, who is 41 years old, had gained attention internationally for her attempts to launch a career as a pop singer and fashion designer. She was formerly Uzbekistan's envoy to the United States and had, in some circles, been seen as a possible successor to her 75-year-old father, Islam Garimov, who has ruled the country with an iron fist. Little is known, however, about the exact current balance of power between the president, the security services, and the various clans believed to be vying for influence in that country. Elements in the former Soviet nation's powerful security services are attempting to seize power. The exchange rate is up on your screen as we take a look at your forecast. It's going to be a partly cloudy day in Yerevan today with a high of 5 degrees Celsius and a low of -6. Armenia's second largest city, Gyumri, will have a high of -4 and a cold of -13. Stepanakert will have a high of 10 with a low of -1. And our travel forecast takes us to the city of Gapan, the capital of Armenia's Sunik Mars, where it will be a high of 10 and a low of -1. The etymology of Gapan stems from the Armenian word gabel, or to lock. This is because the city is located in a mountainous, isolated region. The history of Gapan dates back to the 5th century, then part of the Balkh canton of Sunik, the 9th province of the Kingdom of Armenia. In the 10th century, Simpat II, the Prince of Sunik, relocated to Gapan and founded the Kingdom of Artsakh, also known as the Kingdom of Sunik-Balkh. From the 12th century to the 18th century, the area was raided and then ruled by Turkic, Seljuk, and Persian invaders. In the 18th century, Armenian military leader David Bek began his liberation campaign of Sunik against the Persians and Ottomans. Today, many historic monuments remain in Gapan, including Halidzor Fortress, Bagabert Fortress, Datev, and Vahanavang. Gapan's economy is primarily based on mining, agriculture, and manufacturing. Located near Mount Khustup and the Vokchi River, A tributary of the Arax River, Ghapan boasts some of the most beautiful landscape in the country. Aram Manukyan, the Armenian revolutionary and one of the founders of the First Republic of Armenia in 1918, was from Ghapan. Today, Ghapan's population is estimated to be about 45,000 people. That is our digest for this Wednesday, February 19. We leave you today with the music of Ghapan native Ararat Bedrosyan playing Hovhanissyan poem by Xhaçadur Avedisyan on the Shvi. Enjoy, and I will see you back here tomorrow.